Hello everyone, welcome back to Country View Acres. So we've got a break in the rain this afternoon, and I'm going to try to take advantage of it and work on our hay equipment. So we bought all this equipment. Some of it we bought at auctions, some we bought used from people, but it's all like antique equipment. I've not used any of it yet. It's just basically been sitting around in a barn. So I want to start going through the equipment and making sure everything operates properly and that it's all in good working condition before it's time to actually cut and bale our hay. So now I've never cut, baled, raked hay or anything before, so this is going to be a learning experience. So you can just come along with me and we'll learn together. So the first piece of equipment that I'm going to work on is going to be the Sickle Bar Mower. This is a new Holland 451 Sickle Bar Mower. It's got a 7-foot cutting width on it, and I think the worst thing that I've heard about it is probably trying to get it hitched up to the tractor. I heard sickle bar mowers can be a little bit difficult to get hooked up. So I'm going to go ahead and grab the tractor. We're going to use the Alice Chalmers tractor and get this hitched up, and then we'll start going through it, see everything that's broken, needs fixed, get it all greased up, and just go through the whole thing. So like I said, I've never done any of this before, so the way I'm going to know, I guess, is I'm using a manual. I got one of the manuals for it. I've read the manual, and I'm just going to use that as a guide to try to help me make sure that this is, everything's adjusted properly and working right. So let me go ahead and grab the tractor, and then we'll start going through the Sickle Bar Mower. Well, so far this hasn't gone very well. I did get the 3-point arms hooked up. I mean, I had to kind of shift the mower around a little bit to get them both on, and then I had to kind of lift up on the lift arms and try to get everything kind of somewhat level to get the center point connected to where the top link is on the tractor. But the real problem is the turnbuckle in the top of the mower. It was way too long. It was not going to fit in. So I started lifting up on the lift arms of the tractor, tilting the mower backwards, trying to get it to where that top link would fit in. It finally hit like the breaking point where it just wanted to fall over. Luckily the feet on the bottom of this kind of dug in and kept it from falling over onto the hay baler. But I got the top link in there now. It's all in there the way it was when I bought the thing. And this thing is tilting back like 15 degrees. So there's no way that this setup is going to work on my tractor. Whatever tractor it was on must have had a lot longer lift arms than this one was. So what I'm going to have to do is swap that turnbuckle out. So I went and got the turnbuckle that I normally use on the 3-point hitch of this tractor. It is about 4 inches shorter. This may not be enough, but I'm hoping it'll be enough to make it stand upright, close enough that I can travel with it and take it to the other barn. So I'm going to go ahead and put a ratchet strap on here, try to take the tension off of that one and swap this out. So now that I've got this here in the pole barn where all my tools are and everything, where I can work on it, I'm going to show you the things that I noticed that need attention. So First of all, the original place where this mower would pin to the tractor would have been down in this spot. It obviously probably broke off. They've welded this piece of scrap metal on here and then put an extension on there to hook to the tractor. This is obviously causing probably the big deal on why this is tilting backwards so much. So I'm going to cut this off, and then I'm going to take this end piece, I'm going to re-weld it on down here so that my hole is somewhere in this location. This piece of scrap metal is also causing some trouble. It sticks out on each side, and so I'm going to cut off the extra metal on each side. The turnbuckle here, you can only put a small pin through it because it's rubbing on this plate as well. So I plan on taking off a little bit of the top of this plate right here so that the turnbuckle is not rubbing no more and that a normal pin can fit in there. So where the 3-point hitch hooks up, there's not normal pins there. They just got that's a hitch pin right there. But that seems to work. It's like a 7/8 hitch pin. But on this side over here, all they have is like a bolt, and it's not even the right size bolt. It's like a 3/4 or something. So I'm gonna have to put a pin in this location to get my lift arm on there. And one other thing I've noticed is the legs. It's got a stand that it sits on when you park it, and it's supposed to go up inside these tubes. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a tube right here. That's what it's supposed to go up inside, and that is bent backwards. So I need to straighten that tube out and then probably straighten on these legs, because that's basically, can't really see the other leg real well, but that's basically how you park it. And then when you are in use, you pull these pins out and then you raise this up inside of those tubes, and it rides up against the bottom of the frame while you're cutting hay. And there's no way that's going to raise up inside of there until I get those tubes straightened up. And so that's another thing I'm going to work on, is going to be these feet. So anyway, that's the first stuff to tackle. So I'm going to go ahead and unhitch this from the tractor and start working on it. So why I'm taking these arms off is because they're actually bent. So these arms are bent, and they're bent this direction. So the centers aren't matching up here on this top link. So it's bent here in this fork. So I'm going to take it off. I'm going to re-straighten this fork out and then put them back on. So I'm hoping as you look down this thing, you can see that you come down here and then that fork twists that direction. So I'm just going to try to get those bent back and get this all straightened up. So one of my first projects that I actually built on YouTube was this anvil out of a railroad track about 7 years ago. Ooh, that one's looking better. That probably looks a little bit better than it was. So inside of here, this pivot point, there's a grease zerk or whatever, where you grease the tractor joint right there. So I'm just going to put a piece of masking tape over that so that I don't get any paint on it. That way I don't have any trouble greasing that later. Well, it may not cut hay when we're done with it, but at least it's going to look good. We'll go ahead and start putting this back together. Okay. Ideally, we want this to be able to hook on to that, and it does. It's got a little loop here where it can hold it up out of the way. So that looks good. So I did just buy a hitch pin, just like they had on the other side, to put in here for the 3-point arm to hook up to. I could not find the correct pin that actually goes in here. So this should work for now. So now that I've got this shortened up, this should be closer to the correct dimension. And now this piece actually lines up with this piece now that we've bent these bars back. So everything looks better in alignment. So we'll go ahead and try to hitch it up. So now this should come up to here. Okay, that looks good. Now we'll put in our top link. This is the top link for this tractor. You can tell there's a significant change from before. I have to get the correct size pin later, but this will work for now. So now I should be able to lift up on this and latch it. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take these stops right here, and I'm going to adjust them up a few inches on each side, and then we're going to try this again, see if we can get it to ride a little bit better. So if I show you the other side, I'll show you what I'm running into. You can see that this stop is actually hitting this piece right here. So I'm hoping if I slide this up a little bit, then I won't be getting that obstruction anymore. So we're just going to move that up. All right. Lock in. Good deal. Well, I see this PTO shaft seems to be missing the pin that goes inside of it, and it's painted green, so they must have gave me an old John Deere half of a PTO. So I've got the replacement pin. Put that in there. See if I can do this without losing this little clip. Well, that does not appear to be correct. That should stick out farther than that. Something is not right. So here's the one that we just bought, and you can see that it is not right. And here is one I just pulled out of another piece of equipment, and you can see this one longer, and then it is actually solid right there in the middle. And this is the kind I need right here. So I'm just going to go ahead and steal one off that other piece of equipment for now. Okay, looks good. I'll have to get one of these ordered the right size. All right, we can lower this. So I've got my sickle bar riding on the ground and measuring about 3 inches there. But on this side over here, I'm getting about 2.5. So it's pretty low. I think I'm gonna have to make an adjustment here on this back shoe, see if I can raise this side up a little bit more. So as I look over the sickle bar itself, All the teeth are there. They look like they're in good shape. None of them seem to be broken or anything. I really don't see anything else that needs fixed except for these feet. This is kind of like the stand that you park it on. It's almost like a parking stand, and it fits up under the machine. And these need straightened. And then one of these tubes that they fit inside, this tube is bent so much you can't really slide the leg in it. Plus it's not aligned anymore. So I'm going to cut this piece of tube out, and I'm going to replace that with a new piece of pipe basically. And hopefully once I do that and I straighten these out, the feet will work fine, and then I can actually you know, when I park this and unhitch it from the tractor, it will sit properly and not fall over. So let me see what I can do with these feet. Beautiful. Moment of truth. So I've gone through the Sickle Bar Mower as best I can, tried to fix anything that wasn't right. And I think I've got it in pretty good shape now. So I think it's adjusted for the tractor properly, or at least real close, or good enough to cut hay, let's put it that way. And then the feet down here, I did a lot of work on these feet that are under here. These are like the parking stand. And the way they're supposed to work is they're supposed to be able to slide up and down. So you put them down for when you unhitch and park, and then they're supposed to be able to go up high and store up inside itself while you're cutting hay, and they're up high and out of the way. So that was a trick, getting those straight enough and get everything aligned enough for those to be able to work. Did adjust the shoe over here so that the sickle bar was the same cutting height from end to end, and I think everything's adjusted and it's ready to take out and cut some hay. So I have worked on this thing for about 6 days, it seems like. I've worked on it about every night after work, trying to fix something else on it. And I know it seems like I've done a lot of work on this. So this video is probably already running long. And we'll come back in another video. We will grease this all up, and we will take it out here and test drive this thing, cut some grass. And when I say cut grass, I haven't mowed any of this behind the camera. It is like 1 foot to 2 foot tall. It'll be just like cutting hay. In fact, I could probably bale what's behind us if I wanted to. So it'll be a good area to test this thing out on. And hopefully we don't find anything else that's broke on it. There could be a mechanical issue like a bearing or something. So hopefully we don't find anything else wrong. And yeah, we'll come back in another video here soon, and we'll give it a good test drive. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope you have a great day. I'll see you in the next video.